In today's lesson, we will learn the different parts of a flower. So I'm just going to get my toolbar back just so that I can switch between the colors. So as you can see, I have already loaded my template. You can download it from the website as a JPEG or as a PDF if you want to print it and sketch over it. So in a flower, you really have four main parts. Let's look at them. You have the petals, the colorful things that attract butterflies, insects, bees. Now what we are about to draw is a cross section of a flower. So it's sort of cut through the middle. The petals are nice and colorful. They attract insects, bees, butterflies. So you can use the oval as a reference. This is one petal which is falling to the left. Then you have one petal falling to the right. Now these are falling backwards, so you don't see the fall off, but yeah, they actually fall backwards. So those are my four petals, and there could be one more here which is not being drawn because it's a cross section. Okay, so I have the petals. I'm going to mark them as petals. And then we have the sepals. The green things that hold the petal, they hold it at the base. These are known as the sepals. Now also the sepals are known as the calyx. So as you go ahead in school, you might start getting the scientific names. And the petals are also known as the corolla. So now you know that corolla is not just a Toyota car. So petals and sepals. Sepals hold the petals, petals attract the insects, and what do the insects do? They come and try to suck nectar from the flower, from tissues that are all over the flower. They could be on the petal or they could be in the parts that we are about to draw. So let's look at the other parts. We have one more part. It's called the stigma. The stigma is like a tube, it goes all the way down, and here also held by the sepals is the ovary. So this is like a hollow tube. Should make it hollow. So yeah, it's like a hollow tube. This part is known as the stigma. Now the stigma is actually made up of two parts. It's made up of the style, and you have the egg or ovary. Surrounding this you will have a lot of strands which are known as, they are filaments holding the pollen, So let's draw them. They're known as the stamen. So a filament that holds the pollen. Make it a bit darker. So each of these stamen, and it's made up of two parts, the pollen and the filament. So the filament is the bottom part. Now when we were kids, while going to school, we would find a particular type of flower that had a lot of these stamens, and we would hold them in our hands and two people would lock the stamens and try to pull, and whoever lost their um, pollen would lose the games. Just take it as and rub that off. Yeah, the stamen has the pollen and the filament. Stigma has the style and the ovary. So there are four main parts. I'll mark them out again. So you have the stamen and the stigma. Stigma is in the center, two parts. And then you have the petals and the sepals. Now what happens is when the insects come and sit on the flower, let's draw a bee. Now you don't have to draw the bee, I'm just trying to explain something here. But suppose a bee came in, sat on the plant or hovered around it. The legs of the insects, butterflies, tiny legs, they will pick up this pollen. They'll pick up the pollen, and as they move from plant to plant, they will take the pollen from one plant to another. The pollen will get stuck on the sticky membrane of the stigma here, and it will keep going down. It will interact with the ovary and produce eggs. That's how they reproduce, and this process is known as cross-pollination, when bees move from one plant to another, taking the pollen from one flower to another. So I'll end the lesson there. Hope you enjoyed it.